Republicans on a campaign trail. According to the New York Times, they're not running on the economy. Imagine that. Joining us now, John Cox, a California gubernatorial candidate. John, that's particularly when I think of you, that's got to be hard to believe. 4.1% GDP number, record low unemployment numbers, record gains for employment for other folks. How could the Republican Party not run on that?
They should be. And I'm going to run on the idea that that's great for California, except that the politicians who are in charge of the state have made it so that people don't enjoy that economic growth. I mean, we have the highest cost of housing. We're paying way more than the national average on gasoline. We pay way more for electricity, for water. People can't afford to live in this state, Charles. And even though the rest of the country is enjoying this wonderful economic growth, which I think is a lot of it is attributable to the policies of deregulation and lower taxes from President Trump. Here in California, we've got a bunch of corrupt politicians who are jacking up the cost of living. And, you know, Charles, I've been talking about the forgotten Californians, the people that are struggling every single day.
Right.
I care about what happens to those people. And these politicians keep driving up the cost of living out here to the point that we really don't get a chance to enjoy that great economic growth.
It really is amazing because California's got the worst income inequality, the Gini coefficient, if you want, of any state in this country. And they do these things where it's so bifurcated. Either you're seriously wealthy, very, very wealthy, where plastic surgeons have $100 million homes, or you're extraordinarily poor, and the people in the middle are trying to flee if they're not stuck.
And that's the point, because fully half the people, our research is showing, half the people in this state, Charles, want to leave. Now, if you had a business and, you know, half your clientele was trying to get away from your business, would you be in business any longer? You wouldn't be. And, you know, the politicians in this state really, I guess they don't care. I mean, as long as they can raise taxes high enough to pay off their special interest buddies, they don't care how horrible a job they do managing the state.
What, John,
and look at what's going on.
John, maybe they're running into a brick wall, because we saw where, you know, taxes or some of these new taxes are polling very poorly. And your opponent, Gavin Newsom, you know, he's actually now backing away from this notion of single-payer health care policy. So maybe we found the limits to what even Californians will accept with respect to big government and big taxes.
I would seriously hope so. You know, there's a big article today about how much the DMV is mismanaged. They also did a tax filing software system that's being mismanaged. And then this guy wants to put the government in charge of all health care. I mean, really, Charles, this is the height of lunacy. Not only that, he wants to double the state income tax in a state that's already the highest tax state in the country, where people can't afford to fill up their tank with gasoline. They can't afford a house. And where are all these taxes going to come from, Charles? They're going to come from consumers, from people who are struggling every single day. I'm not going to stand for it, and the people aren't, and they're going to do something different. They're going to vote for change, not the status quo, John, on November 6th.
John, I've got one last one for you here. Philadelphia stopped giving ICE access to real-time arrest database. The city says that the agency was misusing that information. Your thoughts, because we know, obviously, that the idea of illegal immigration is a huge issue in California.
It's absolutely huge. And you can see the crime rates going up in this state, Charles. This is ridiculous, and it's all designed to get people talking about ICE. I mean, this Philadelphia mayor wants to do away with ICE, and I'm sure Gavin Newsom's fine with that as well. You know, the problem here is that they don't want to talk about all the other things they're messing up. So what do? They put in sanctuary state, ICE, you know, all these other issues, so that people will talk about those, and they won't talk about how much their rent is, how much their gasoline is, how our schools now, Charles, are 47th in the nation. And they'd rather us talk about all this fighting between Washington and Sacramento. I'm done with it. We're gonna correct these things.
John, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Now, thank you.